Summoners.
Hello, Summoners. Hello, Summoners.
Hello everyone and welcome to the RTA Season 15 Legend Tournament. My name is Evan.
And I'm Seppi.
Can you believe that we used to let the rankings decide who was number one? Now we take the top four and make them fight to the death.
In ceremonious battle.
To see who's going to come out as number one with the Legend title.
And this time we have four faces that are known by all of you. And we're going to be taking a look at their drafts, playstyle, and favorite monsters in a little bit. But for now, we know that someone's back to try to claim its third Legend title.
That's right. How to Play is back again and going for the three-peat this time. He's the only one on the table tonight that actually has a Legend title under his belt at all. And somehow still we have someone who's 500 points ahead of everybody and still manages to be a quote-unquote underdog. I don't think he's an underdog, but he still has that title with him.
And my question is, are you guys rooting for Pink Roy, the number one? Like Evan said, super ahead, very controlling, aggressive play style, and the only one of our competitors that does not own a Gianna.
That's something. That's interesting. Yeah, we're going to go through their units in detail and talk about their most picked and most banned, just to get you guys a little bit more familiarized with the players. But we also want to talk about how they got here, because this is pretty significant. This only happens once at the end of every season. This is to celebrate the end of the competitive ladder climb that all of these players have done to get here. And now they're all vying for the throne for that number one slot and a name in the Hall of Fame.
And this was a very interesting season, Evan. Season 15 brought a lot of changes. This was the first season where Thor was not as dominant, even though some of these players are using it. We are gonna be seeing different monsters, the Beast Riders coming in, but first off, as we discussed, this is how we find the legend now. We have the tournament with the top 4, and we're going to see also that these players are going to be playing on SWC mode on the semifinals, being best of 3 for both sides, and then in the finals, a best of 5.
And at the end of all that, we're going to come out with one legend. It's a fight to the death, like we said, ceremonious combat.
And the prizes for this are always especially delicious, and this time, one of my favorite families. The Sea Emperors are the ones.
Because as great as that Hall of Fame title is, we're not just concerned with intrinsic rewards, right? We also would like a little bit of extra here.
You always want to look good, so that circling plasma is beautiful, and unfortunately I missed the cut to the G1 today, but these guys didn't. So they're getting more than 1, 2, 3, 4 auras for each one of them, and the most important, the little title that's going to be in your island, the one that's only you have.
Only you, and that's permanent. That's something you get to brag about. I'm going to look forward to seeing that whenever I visit the Winner's Island.
But going back to the meta that we're going to see today, we saw a lot of monsters raising up bigger. The 2A that in the beginning no one cared about.
Yeah.
Are we going to see him?
Who's to say? Probably will. This is information on Pinkroyd. We've seen him before in the Europe qualifiers, actually.
Yeah, he lost against X-Knight, but came really close with his controlling playstyle. Like we said, he has one very powerful LD that is Tianlang. He hates playing against Leos, very fast runes. So the turn advantage that you get from playing these control comps is destroyed by a Leo in there. And as we see other monsters that he hates playing against, Juno and Fran, immunity, another great counter to CC in the Juno that is also part of the meta right now.
Yeah, she's just been a huge counter to most everything that you'll see out there in this season. She's been really prevalent to everything. And you're probably going to see that Tianlang picked pretty often because he counters every form of attack bar boost out there, be it a Ciara, a Vertihile, a Yanhong, what have you. He's going to benefit from it and have the efficiency. Here comes Seishizo as well. Makes amazing YouTube content as well. I love his takes on the popular DB12 teams. Here's his most picked. Like we said, he's one of the 3 that has Gianna with him, and those are his most banned monsters down there.
And we're gonna probably always see these 4 guys: Gani, Oki, Chiwu, and Ciara. Those are the most prevalent monsters in the meta, especially the first 2. Ciara and Chiwu has speed leads, so monsters that give you that first turn, the aggressiveness. And a lot of people are first picking Okeanos now, not only because of the control, but now he brings a lot of damage with the introduction of the artifacts.
That's right. And Seishizo, just to expand a little bit more on him, he's a very classic player too. He likes splashing in CC where he can. He was using Hathor for a while, even later on into the season, and now he's pivoted to what you see on screen. Here comes Shizzy as well. Now Shizzy is an interesting case because he bears probably the highest probability of being a very aggressive player in this tournament. He's got the Gianna Han representation in his most picked, which means that he can actually do a huge speed boost for his Dark Monsters with Han's lead.
And since he's such an aggressive player, you can see the Molly in his most banned because she's a monster that disrupts damage, disrupts control with her incredible passive, bringing in those glancing hits, and also the big heal. 1 proc, and your ally is full HP. How crazy is that? Finishing it off, he's still using the Hathor to control his opponents, isolate them so the Han can death break, get that additional attack bar, then go for the stun or the kill.
And Shizzy, when he's not vying for something so important as the Legend title, he's been known to use something like a quad Oracle team as well, with everything except Lima represented.
Yeah, very fun guy. He's always hanging out in the noob room. I've faced him a couple times, and finally, the one that has 1, 2 titles of Legend, bringing in another Gianna. He also has the Han, has the Neftis. He's one of the only of the 4 that uses Molly, but monsters are not here that notably he also owns Leona, Akroma. So we might see a lot of disruption for these CC comps from the other players. He might be the one with the most broad draft.
Exactly.
With different strategies. He has a pater as well, so very strong against CC comps.
Yeah, typically How to Play likes to favor the bruiser approach, but he also has this unparalleled flexibility that lets him go into the CC realm. If he wants to play aggressive, he can do that too. He's got a very broad monster box, so that lets him kind of pick how he feels is appropriate in the situation.
And that's why he wants to always ban those double mermaids, the glancing from Mali, extremely powerful, and Tetra and Juno, countering the Gianna and the Nefty so well. Because without a Ciara, no detonation, your bombs just keep increasing. And we saw this a couple Legend tournaments ago when Gianna was having trouble dealing with that Tetra.
That's right. If it's Gianna alone out there with no Ciara, no way to detonate, it's just going to be infinite bombs. You're going to see it dancing above their heads forever.
And finally, the two other monsters he doesn't like to go against, Oki and Chiwu. They pair up very well. Also, we might see some Savannahs coming in with them. Maybe we'll see Beast Riders today like we saw changing the meta during SWC and doing a lot of damage in the finals.
Yeah, it's funny because in these profiles here, we haven't seen a whole lot of Beast Riders in the most picked, most banned sections, but I would be really surprised if we didn't see multiple of them tonight.
Yes, I would love to see also a Vigor, as we already talked about. Really strong monster against some of those Beast Riders, good against the Oki. Juno can even be used to counter Vertihil in case someone's picking the Vert against the Chiwu. So maybe we'll see a Leo, a Vert here to surprise the opponents.
Yeah, he brings a suspicious amount of utility, that two-way Vigor does. Here come the brackets, guys. So the RTA season ended 9 minutes ago, and now here are the final rankings. First off, we've got Pinkroyd versus How to Play. Followed up, we're going to see Seishizo versus Shizzy.
And Evan, this was an extremely close fight because in the last minutes, we saw another Chinese player, Heartbreak, climbing all the way to 9 points away.
9 away. 9
Exactly.
away. Oh, man, he was so close.
And during this season, I wanted to shout out other players that had amazing tournaments. As always, we see Ken Baller up there, True Whale, players that came so close to being in here with the tournament pedigree, and we might see them back. So extremely difficult competition, except for Pinkroyd.
Right, exactly. So all those players that you mentioned have that tournament experience, and we'll likely see them in future Legend tournaments to come. But for now, we have a really unique opportunity to watch someone defend their title while fighting 3 new players to the tournament scene.
And interestingly enough, we have 2 players from the Netherlands, 2 Europeans. Shizzy has the Nigeria flag, but if I'm not mistaken, he lives here in the US and How to Play representing China. So this is the tournament with the least Asian players. Maybe a little bit of a change in the meta occasioned that, and let's see how these players adapt. What's going to be the first pick? Is it going to be that Ciara? Is it going to be the Okeanas? We know that first pick Chiwu is a little bit dangerous and can be countered fast, but still extremely powerful monster for all these 4 players.
That's right, and like we said earlier on in the show, Pinkroyd ended the season 500 points above everybody else in the RTA rankings, but that first match is so important because this is probably the one that you're arguably most nervous about. None of these players are pushovers, but this is the one who's got the most to lose. With that said, we're going to go into the pick ban phase of the first round of match number 1, How to Play versus Pinkroyd.
This is going to be really interesting. We see that the first pick goes to Pinkroyd. Let's see what pre-bans are here. Pinkroyd may be choosing to pre-ban that Gianna, and that's what he does. Oki on the other side, so the first pick should be Ciara on the side of Pinkroyd, or maybe he wants to secure one of the 2 Ganithor monsters.
Right, locking down a Ganymede is a great way, so that way you have the Seal Magic as well, so you can lock down some cooldown times as well. Get that Ventilate on the field, never bad to have, the ultimate combo facilitator, and there he is, that's Ganymede in play right away.
How to Play responds fast. With Ciara, speed lead, we're going to see right now what he defines for his draft. He's going to go super aggressive, or he's going to go a little bit more bruisery and bring that Molly that we've been talking about.
Surprisingly, again, one of the few people on this tournament that actually had Molly shown in their player profile. So How to Play still has a lot of flexibility here. He can pivot any which way he wants because this doesn't show a lot about his draft.
I would love to see some damage, and that's what Pinkroyd brings in the Daphnis. I also would love to see a Vigor because now he leaves the opening for How to Play to pick a very strong water monster against the Daphnis, and also Mermaid's best friend. Molly loves Vigors. Either it's in guild defenses or in RTA.
Exactly. She might not like fighting against him, but she loves having him by her side. And admittedly, that Daphnis is always going to have a little bit of a harder time when Molly's in play on the other side. So.
Changpong and
Wunsa,
the
too.
Wunsa. Two AoE strippers, but I don't know how much impact the Wunsa can do here because there's not a lot of follow-up. He has to bring big AoE damage or control in the last one and no immunity, so the Rika, an amazing pick on Pinkroyd's side, and the Vertihil to counter these two wind monsters and the Molly, even though he has a chance to glance.
That's right. There's no immunity represented from how to play, so that means the Rika, given an opportunity, can just lay dots everywhere. Leona, there it is. We said that the Leona's in the back there.
Yeah, that's kind of telling what he's going to ban because if there's no Death Break, the Leona solos. We all know it's kind of a lock ban, and I'm fine with Pinkroyd banning that because the Daphnis is probably going bye-bye, and then the Rika can get a field because this Wunsa, it's only here to strip, so the Art Master can try to reduce attack bars, and yep, the ban on the Leona is expected, but he goes for the bird.
He knew
it
he
was
had
a
to pick.
trick.
He knew it had to pick because again, having two AoEs on the board with a presumably triple revenge Verd, that's a really big, that's a danger to you. One proc from that.
Great last pick from How to Play, forcing that ban on Leona. And let's see his first turn because he has a Wunsa, one of the fastest monsters in the game. No counter, and now the Art Master needs to hit this reset.
And he gets the one. Very important one on Fran.
100% res Rika for sure because she still has an attack bar.
Wow, Rika's still in play, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to deal with it. Ciara is the answer, detonating and hoping for the stun, and lands it. Good job.
Oh my god, that res was not enough because she's probably going to die right now. We're going to see a 4v3. It's all on Daphnis. How is he going to bring this game back?
How to Play has just established dominance so early in this game. Now Daphnis has to figure out what he's going to do to carry his team to victory here.
Well,
he still has a target. He still has a target, but we got to hope that he lands it.
He gets it! The Art Master is gonna die right now!
24K! And he's still here! Oh my goodness! He's still, and he's got attack bar. He's gonna get one more turn guaranteed.
The Ganny will get in here. That's why I don't think the reset on Ciara was the best choice because Ciara already used the bomb and the detonation and he wouldn't have any type of death break or glancing on his monsters. This can have cost him the game.
Pinkroyd is still firmly planted in it. He establishes the immunity and the attack buff too. He's not gonna go down without a fight. Here comes the overwhelm and lands increased cooldown times.
But now the damage is coming in too much. He should have reset that Art Master. The Death Break is too powerful, and the glancing on the Daphnis also will diminish the damage. He goes for the Ventilate. He needs a proc. No proc from Fran, but now he has the chance to use it, but with glancing.
With glancing and no buffs to replace with defense break. What happens next when he uses that third skill? That's going to define the rest of the game, if he makes it to his turn at all.
That's the thing. Ciara's cycling, but she gets glance and attack broken. No kill right here, but the friend's gonna die right now.
She's holding on.
He steals attack bars. The Daphnis has one chance, but I don't think
he
he
can
can
do?
kill without Death Break. It's too tough. That's a tanky Ciara. She says, no, sir. I'm gonna place a bomb here and start dancing because this party is all mine.
And a nice proc at the end. He didn't even need it, and he got it anyway. That was fantastic. And Pinkroyd knows when he's lost, he's going to concede there. That was a super strong opening from How to Play. That was just locking down the Rika early so that she couldn't have a huge impact on the game was so important. And I liked seeing that. He had to work through it. He was like, how am I going to get this thing stunned? So he went through all of his options and ultimately stunned it with bomb.
Yeah, and the thing was, this is probably 100% res Rika. So if she took the bomb, Pinkroyd at that moment, he knew, wow, that was my win con. It's gonna be really tough from here, and then maybe a little bit nervous in that moment. The reset that occasioned the Art Master had the Death Break still, even though the Ciara had already detonated the bomb. He wanted the attack bar reductions and go for the kill. I think he thought he could have killed that Art Master just with one touch.
Right, and then once you land that decreased cooldown time, you get an entire turn for each one of your teammates. So that's a pretty big lead too, even after you've killed the Rika, right?
Great drafts on both sides. He put How to Play against the wall, but the Art Master came through, reduced attack bars, reset cooldowns, even though he missed it on Daphnis.
Here we go. We're going to round two. Again, Pinkroyd needs to make something happen here because this is a best of three. So if he loses one more, he's out of the tournament.
But this time, How to Play has his Gianna available and the first pick. So Pinkroyd probably will opt for the Ciara pre-bet, or no, the Nefties. So How to Play can get the Ciara Gianna combo on the table if he likes, or he can go for the control Genny Thor that he has not been using lately.
Yeah, and Pinkroyd can try to disrupt that a little bit if he wants to. Let's see what these guys pick here. How to play with first pick. What's he going to choose? Lands the Oki that was pre-banned earlier.
Yeah, if Pinkroyd lets the Ciara through, so how to play gets Oki, Gianna, and Ciara, that's going to be really dangerous, and he gets it. Genny's also really strong right here because if you reset, someone gets to ventilate, but he takes it out of Mr. Chung, the champion of SWC, roll book, and gets the Praha, res lead, sleep,
The newly buffed sleep too, so now she represents control and a little bit of support for the team.
And how to play says, you still, my Ciara, you don't want me to have a speed lead, but well, I have a Han to give this 30%.
This is exactly the combo that we were talking about, we were expecting to see from Shizzy earlier too. Now he's going to be picking that speed lead, assuming that they both get through.
Yeah, and the question is, who's gonna be the second stripper? This looks like a great game for Chungpung because there's two water monsters and boom, he picks it. Now the last pick, probably another speed lead, or if he wants a little bit of sustain to have more of a mid-range style of comp, because this monkey can be trouble.
Yeah, now would be the time, and he hasn't locked it in yet, but this is a very aggressive choice. Azera2, not mid-range at all. He's just going all tempo. I'm going to try to kill this guy as fast as humanly possible. Ganymede ends up being the choice.
I prefer the Ganny because now he has double reset against this Josephine, and Hathor is the last pick, kind of pressuring. If you don't kill me turn one, I'm going to control you and bring the comeback. The question is, who do you take out of this team? He takes out the Hathor, excellent ban, and takes out the main source of damage on Han. Excellent bans on both sides. The question is, how hard can this Oki hit? And are the resets gonna come in? Because he has three of them.
That's what we gotta know. I do love that how to play force that tough decision. Do you wanna face the double reset? Okay.
Whoa!
Praha?
Super fast Praha gets the strip, but the Gianna cuts in.
And look at that, so smart. Pinkroyd has nobody else on Will, so the Gianna can't actually land the critical error. Now she can still land the bomb, but because Ciara's not here, it's not gonna detonate. He's got a little bit of time.
He gives that. He doesn't care that he's gonna give shield because now the Josephine takes the turn and can control the Oki or the Chungpung. What is he gonna do? The Genny has a little bit less attack bar. I think at this moment, he goes for the Gianna. He trusts he can kill the Gianna fast enough, hits the death break, and now if Ciara procs, and if he doesn't reset these monsters, Ciara, he didn't go for it.
No, he needed that. Pinkroyd absolutely needed that. He was stuck between an Oki and a hard place. That was a tough choice to make right at the start too. I love the faith. Let's see if he can capitalize on it before he loses a monster.
She resists, but the Ganny is too much, too many resets. Now it's the monkey against the world because there's death break on the Ciara. He gives the cooldowns back to Oki, and beautiful proc from Josephine. He doesn't go for the Oki once again. He's ignoring the Oki because the Ciara has more attack.
Nice!
She hits it. Is this the comeback, Evan?
Can she detonate? She's gonna take Gianna out no matter what. Stun goes out on Oki.
And the proc on top of that. The Oki procs too, and he has the stun to bring this match back.
This is wild. They're taking power from each other left and right. This is shifting so fast. Pinkroyd
got it, Evan. This monkey is practically unkillable right now. There's two win monsters on how to play side, but he doesn't give up. Once again, this Praha has the heal. The monkey's too powerful against the control comp with little damage. And now, it's 1-1.
Pinkroyd. That was incredible. Josephine was doing everything that she could to keep this game within range for Pinkroyd, and man, it was amazing. He played that really well. I love the power dynamic between the two. It kept shifting between how to play and Pinkroyd.
And we were talking about how Ciara is such an important monster. One proc can change the whole game. She resisted the reset.
Yeah.
She procced and bombed the Oki, killing the Gianna and changing everything. And Pinkroyd had it planned.
That's why you ruin him on violent. That's why you do it. That was awesome. That was a great way to secure the kill on Gianna too. And he planned it out. He was waiting turns in advance for that too. I was so surprised when he decided to go for the Gianna, but I couldn't make a decision either because it's like between Oki and Chungpung, it was a hard choice to make, and he decided to just take the middle road.
And Ciara had two chances on the first turn. She could have procced, she didn't. Then there was a proc on the other side. Then she procced on the second one, and immediately the Oki procced on the other side. So we got procs on both sides, but the damage was not enough to deal with the Josie shield and with this monkey that is hitting very hard.
This is awesome. We're going to a round 3 on the first set. This is it. Whoever wins this one moves on, the other goes home. How to play versus Pinkroyd.
The whole season, on the table. Now, are the pre-bans going to go back to Gianna on one side, or maybe How to Play is going to opt to change something else and go back to a more mid-range comp, more bruisery, because this time he had no sustain, Evan, and it's very risky.
He banked it all on being a little bit aggressive, and I liked seeing him check himself at the end of that pick ban phase last time, where he put in the Zeratul, but he wasn't too sure, and I think the Ganymede was a really good choice. I like the team, but I think mid-range would be a better idea this time.
Yeah, maybe the Molly was the missing component, and Pinkroyd steals the Ciara. Once again, the Chungpung, first pick, maybe he'll guarantee the Ganny double reset once again, but these two monsters can be countered by fire threats.
That's all Pinkroyd has to do. In fact, putting the Verd on the table is really important because of the AoEs.
And I love the Savannah pick, taking it away from How to Play, because he could have brought, right now, Chiwu Savannah with lots of damage and the Verd here to counter the Chungpung. Because if the Chungpung AoEs to attempt to strip what
Artemiel
is Arda back?
Great response. I love it. He's trying to deny the defense break from Savannah by presenting a monster with more defense.
With higher defense, because remember, she has to have higher attack than the enemy to death break. And now, the Rika, excellent last pick once again, and the friend taking away immunity. Tyrannus, this kind of tell us everything.
He's
we need
letting
to know.
the Savannah through.
Yes, he doesn't care about Savannah. Probably he's banning this Rika because I don't know if he has enough control, or he bans the Verd to take turn one, strip, and reset the Rika. He bans the Rika.
I think the Rika was a good choice because he doesn't have anything that can defend against that number of dots. It's a great punish from Pinkroyd.
But Evan, even though the Arda is a counter to Verd, how much can he put out of damage to kill him? First turn, goes to Savannah. She will come in for that strip to try to bomb something, but the Chungpung moves before the Ciara misses the strip, and now the friend has to protect the team, but I do think the Chungpung moves right now.
Yeah, the Chungpung's going to be moving ahead, and it's a great thing for How to Play that he missed that strip because an attack buff. Wait, it's not too late.
Double
wait,
dancing!
he's open for the attack buff bomb.
Yes.
This could be huge.
This is the moment, gets the bomb off, and remember, there's no clans, but he does go for it because he doesn't want reset on this channel. Almost kills him, and now the Verd can use skill 2 to attempt to secure this kill before the Arda moves. The Arda has
but
the heal.
he's trusted the dot, but unfortunately Artemiel still had his heal up. There was always going to be a but to that situation though, because Tyrannus had a revive, Artemiel had a heal, but I feel that. I trust dots all the time and get punished.
We know that Ganny Tyrannus is extremely powerful because now he has the ventilate. He can guarantee that other monsters stay alive, and a big problem for Pinkroyd is he only has one strip. And the strip is reset. He already used it. The Verd comes in with lots of damage, but now the Savannah needs a proc. No proc for the strip, and now he can ventilate the Tyrannus, and this is gonna be tough.
This is a cycle. It's difficult for Pink because for the foreseeable future, he's going to be poking away at things. He's not going to be doing a significant hit. Even if a monster falls down, I mean, there's a Soul Protect on Chungpung over there. Tyrannus will get it back eventually. It's already ventilated.
And he needs a lot of procs with Ciara, but every proc is a punish because Ciaras are built on crit rate nowadays, and the Arda is gonna keep punching, but the friend with an extremely important proc, can he kill with this death buff? Let's see if he goes with the green or if he goes with the
17K! That was great scaling with the defense. He went for it, and I love the results. Oh, Pink is looking really desperate here.
Ciara's probably gonna die right here. Ciara counters. 1 HP, my man, can he kill the Ganny? And the Ganny goes bye-bye, but the punishment, he has to choose Ciara or Savannah. Ciara's the most important, but
and
gets stunned.
Gets stunned. Oh, Pink, every 1 step forward, 2 steps back. He keeps trying to fight a way forward. He's at a 3 to 4 monster deficit, but it's just an illusion. Tyrannus can revive somebody soon.
Very smart choice. He goes for the Tyrannus because he wants to wait for the soul protection to go away. And this proc from Fred is gigantic. Keeping the Ciara in the match, the question is, can Ciara put more bombs, proc, and not die? She's gonna put the bomb on Arda. She needs to detonate right now to control them, even though the bomb goes off on Tyrannus, and that's what she does. Can you get it?
It kills Arda!
And it doesn't kill the Chungpung! This is incredible! Fred is the MVP of this match!
Fran keeping the damage in play!
He lets the Tyrannus. The Tyrannus is gonna die to the dot, smartly, clinically playing this and going for the Chungpung, but he has one more revive. The question is, can he do something with a huge proc to kill the Ciara?
Ciara's still here. She refuses to go down as if she's fighting for pink. Just hand
One
over
proc can
fist
seal
over
it.
fist.
One proc, another one. Fran has done it twice. Can she get a third one?
Oh,
no proc, but the bomb's
she's done
gonna
so
come
much.
out.
She's done so much already. The bomb. We already know that's enough to kill the Artemio.
Yes, and he can take one of these two monsters down. He gets rid of the Tyrannus. No!
No, Ciara! She did everything that she could. She's been fighting the hardest out of all of them. And Fran disappointed in herself for letting her die.
But now he gets the clans with Fran, can seal it off. The Tyrannus comes back, but the Verd is almost lapping. If the Fran can, oh, the stun from Arda comes in, but he's protected. Is this Verd triple revenge or does he have Vial? No Vial yet. So here comes the Tyrannus. Needs the crit. No crit.
This is really in Pinkroyd's favor right now, though.
This is game heaven.
This is it.
Verd, Fran,
took it.
Two free-to-play monsters deciding the semifinals
Pink.
of the Legend Tournament.
Pink just dethroned How to Play. He was going for the three-peat, and now the newcomer comes along and finds his way to the finals.
And the best thing about this is the damage from Ciara was instrumental, but the two procs from Fran,
It was Fran.
sealed it. She kept her team alive. She kept Verd cycling through. What a great counter. We talked about it. A lot of win monsters, 3 win monsters against the Verda Hill. It was going to be a lot of turn cycling, very static comp. The Arda was the only thing keeping it in there, and the Ciara came through, did not miss a bomb. How long have we seen a match without a Ciara missing a bomb?
That is actually more rare nowadays, and I got to give it to Pink. He had all of his assets diminished at the start of that game, and we saw him poking away at things, and Ciara putting bombs, sprinkling some damage around, and ultimately he took his time, kept monsters in play, and sealed the deal. And now he's got his ticket punched for the finals. And he dethroned How to Play, which is a huge achievement. No matter what happens for the rest of this tournament, that is a huge achievement worth celebrating. Like,
gives you a lot of confidence. Coming into the finals, the #1 player of the season and showing a lot of variety. We see right here, he picked Hathor but did not use Hathor this comp with Fran and Verd to cycle through this stationary comp and taking the damage from Arda, extremely tanky Ciara that was at 100 HP a couple times, and the Fran kept her alive and came up on top.
Stationary is a great word to describe that comp, right? Like Verd plus a Ciara that's turn cycling naturally, they just accelerate through the turns, and your cooldowns are going to be reduced. Ciara is going to get tons of opportunities to get additional turns, to put bombs down. It's a really hard battle to fight.
Yeah. As a Tyrannus player, the hardest counters to win are those, and we'll see you guys in a second.
We'll be right back after this break.
Hello, summoners.
everyone, and welcome back to the RTA Season 15 Legend Tournament.
This is Seppi and Friends. Together is better.
It's our 2A. It's our second awakening, Seppi and Friends. What's up, guys? I'm Evan, by the way.
Exactly. And now we're back for the next match. The other semifinals, but first, let's talk a little bit about what happened here. How surprising was it for you, Evan?
Yeah, we just came back from a real statement piece, really. Pinkroyd dethroned two-time Legend winner How to Play already in an amazing first set into the Season 15 Legend Tournament. Even though he was 500 points above, but that was a huge task. That was a monumental thing.
Yeah, I think that How to Play pushed him out of his comfort zone. We saw a lot of variety of picks. He played a counter CC comp with Monkey and Josephine, and once again we see the versatility of Ciara in all these matches. But the main thing, Fren and Verdahill in this decisive match 3, coming in on top, turn cycling, cleansing, healing, immunity, maintaining that team and showing how to play.
How to play, that was good. Yeah, just turn cycling, running laps around the very stationary, I love that, the very stationary team that How to Play presented. Here's our bracket as told now after that first set is finished up. We're seeing Pinkroyd move forward to the semifinals, and he's still waiting for his opponent, who we're going to decide here in a few minutes, which is going to be between Seishizo and Shizzy.
And these two players have a Gianna, so now it's a little bit of a different kind of match because Pinkroyd does not own the monster. He had to pre-ban it in one match, the other one had to deal with it, post-ban it, and now Seishizo and Shizzy, are they gonna pre-ban the monster whenever they don't have the first pick?
Right.
Or are they gonna risk and see if the other one's not gonna pick it so they can take it for themselves? So there's gonna be a lot of mind games.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see that matchup specifically because Seishizo, like we said, a very classic player, likes to splash in CC where he can get it, and Shizzy, more aggressive approach, or at least has the opportunity to be more aggressive. Whether or not he takes it and he wants to bank it all on that is up to him, but this stands to be one of the more interesting games, though I say that after what was probably the most interesting game I've seen in Legend Tournament history between Pinkroyd and How to Play.
Yeah, it was incredible. Picks and bans from both sides. And the thing is, if your opponent has a Gianna, your combo of Gianna Han is not as powerful. Can he bring a surprise and bring the beta, similar to what Obabo does? Also, J-Mac. Are we going to see a Chung Pung Jameer combo? We know that these players don't use that a lot, but maybe since some people are stealing their monsters, or are they going to stay with the classic? Is Seishizo going to go back to the Ganithor, bring in the Oki? But we saw that even with these monsters, with the amount of reset that Chung Pung, Oki, and Gani bring, the Josephine, the Monkey, and the Ciara on the other side can win it all.
They can, and there's plenty of room for surprises in these pick ban phases, but when you're at the last stop in your RTA journey through Season 15, more often than not, the answer might be just pick what you're comfortable with. Just maybe if you're not comfortable picking a surprise and going aggressive, just pick what's been working for you.
Yeah, these players have been playing over 1,000 matches this season to have tried different things out. We saw Beast Rider come out, which I'm really glad about. Savannah, very well countered, but we haven't seen Barbara or Masha yet. And I was gonna say, I don't know if Pinkroyd has a Masha, but Masha would have been an amazing pick against that composition. The death break, the damage into 3 when units, the attack bar with the bird, because she has a passive that increases the amount of attack bar
she gets. Bonus, that's right, because the thing was Savannah wasn't really giving Pink quite a lot to work with there. I mean, she opening move, she missed the strip and didn't properly set up for the turns to come.
Yeah, but great matches, and now we'll see if they're gonna adapt a little bit, change the playstyle. Arda came out. In this meta, we haven't seen Arda being as powerful as before. Ragdoll kind of stays as one of the biggest monsters in the meta. Gianna, Yeonhung still, but Arda fell a lot because of the amount of CC units, the Elusia countering, the reset, the stuns, the amount of death break and control that he has to deal with. It's still a very strong monster with lots of immunity, but right now, alone like that, we can see that it can be countered by hard sustain, turn cycling, and bombs.
Right, and he's kind of found his spot as that counter when a Savannah is put into a pick ban phase because of his high defense, though the whole pick ban tends to follow that pivot as well with other high defense monsters.
And now let's see how that went through. First match was the Rika match, where How to Play said, I'm gonna let her through because I know I can take turn 1 and take care of her. He glanced all the hits on her. Nothing from the Art Master, but now the bomb came in from the Ciara, and he finished her up on that first turn with a wound.
My favorite part, trying to clean that up. It's like, how do I lock that unit down so I don't get punished with a ton of dots? And he did it swimmingly.
This might have been the play of the match, leaving the Chungpong alive, and he went for the reset with the Gani on the Ciara that had used the bomb instead of the Chungpong, and that death break came back to bite him.
Now back in round 2, this is the round featuring Josephine and the monkey. And how to play here, we're going to see that ultimately Ciara stays with her skills up, where maybe a Seal Magic could have gone out there instead, like you were saying, Seppi.
And he chose to do a stun. Very good choice. We thought he was going to have a lot of control because once you stun, the Oki can come in and control more, but that huge proc from the Ciara into another proc. The Oki proc once again, but the damage was not enough because Josie had her passive back and the monkey just kept hitting back.
Look at the monkey, look at the monkey. It just wasn't enough. Oki tried his best to get how to play back into the game, but Pink ultimately took that second round. And that's it for the highlight reel. So after this, we've got a pretty important game coming up because again, we're going to find out who's going to meet them in the finals. Here's that third round that was absent from the highlight moments before, and we just saw the Artaniel punish that leftover dot, which was, I love the trust on the dots, but unfortunately Artaniel had the heal and Tyrannus had the revive, so it was a no-win situation.
Yeah. And in this case, even bringing the Arta back and that huge proc, he had to kill the Ciara, but the damage was not enough. And once the bomb is on the Arta, you know that he's a defense-based monster. He does not have enough HP to sustain the damage of a Ciara bomb of the #1 player of this season.
No, there was too much damage there and too much turn cycling. Like that, all that attack bar, he can't fight all that attack bar for too long. But what are Seishizo and Shizzy going to do? These players are in the background right now preparing their drafts. Again, Shizzy representing the Gianna and the Han, which is an incredible combo that I really hope that he brings and that we get to see, though. Granted, I don't know if it would be the best choice to leave it in a draft.
Yeah, and now the thing is the main Molly player is out. Or will one of these two guys try to bring Molly out to sustain the heavy damage and control from the other team? That glancing is really powerful, not only against damage, but against CC. Because if your debuffs glance and you don't apply them, there's not going to be a way to hold that mermaid down, and she's going to keep healing her team and out-sustaining you, taking the game long.
Well, let's see how this goes down. We've got round 1 of set number 2, Shizzy versus Seishizo.
And now the first pick will go to the side of Seishizo, and we're talking about both Gianna players. Are they going to choose to pre-ban it, or are they going to let the other player try to get either the Gianna, the Ciara, and split them? Do they know exactly? Have they studied each other? And maybe pre-ban the Han on the side of Seishizo to avoid Shizzy taking that super strong monster.
These players have hopefully done their research going into this, and they've fought each other probably countless times on the ladder already. There it is, both monsters I wanted to see. Come on, guys, both of them pre-banned, are you kidding me? Probably a good choice.
They're not going to let that through because Shizzy knows that Seishizo is going to probably pick that Ciara first, and then the Han is pre-banned on the other side to avoid the combo, but the Oki, he splits it. Now he can go with Gani Chiwu, but that leaves the Ciara to Seishizo still. Are we going to see a Hathor this game?
Hey, Oki, again, firmly enjoying his first pick slot that he's kind of taken from Chiwu recently. Here comes that Ciara and the Verd from Seishizo.
So double fire, Chungpung doesn't seem as strong as in here. Only if you bring heavy damage after it. He can bring some type of mid-range comp. I would love to see a Vigor bring it in sustain. Death Break, he brings another water monster that also has sustain on Praha, and then the combo with Chiwu kind of signaling a Verd ban and saying, I can outspeed you.
There's too much room for Verd to proc a counter out of this between Chiwu's third skill, Praha's second skill, and Savannah's third skill too.
Lots of AoE, very dangerous, extremely good pick from Seishizo. And now the last two, the Monkey and the Leo, amazing closing out. These two countered not only the Beast Rider, but also the Praha. Will he bring damage on the last pick? He's probably going to ban that. It's a very solid draft by Seishizo. Rika sounds like a must ban. And on the other side, if you want to start, it's difficult to choose. The Leo is not going to let you lap, and the Verd can counter and kill your dreams. So it's kind of a very tough choice right here to Shizi. If, say, Shizo has an extremely fast Oki and he bans the Leo.
He kind of had to ban the Leo. Like you said, there was too many things that he was countering. Now, with that said, though, we might see a counter from Verd coming out here. I do love the way that Shizo split up the Leo.
And let's see the speed on this Oki. Can this Oki outspeed the Chiwu? We don't know. There's people with a lot of fast Okis out there. Let's see who takes the first turn.
How confident?
It's the Chiwu by a hair.
Oki so close. His attack bar, that must be 99.9%. You know what?
I wouldn't risk the AoE. I would go for a single target strip on Oki, but he risks it. No counter. It pays off. He goes for the Savannah. No counter once again. He can reset the Oki right now at full control. He can go for a beautiful sleep to control every monster, but he saves it because he knows he can flap with the Prime, keeps going for damage. Finally, this Oki's dead, but if you reset the Oki, why is he not killing the Ciara? This can be very dangerous.
There's a lot of sunk assets into that Okeanos. Now, there's the kill on Ciara.
Yes, that's what we were waiting for.
From downtown. And he's going to ventilate, so that way Savannah's ready to apply those defense breaks and do big damage a second time.
Seishizo's probably asking himself, Bird, why are you not countering? The sleep comes out, and now all monsters are controlled. He can go for damage on the monkey, and this monkey is probably gonna die to a second skill right now. Is he tanky enough to take the punishment from Savannah?
Shizzy seems to be considering it and opts to go for the
kind of risky, but he gets the proc.
Wow! And he's been rewarded twice. He's taken a couple big risks this game, Shizzy. In the beginning, that opening, and he goes again right here, almost kills the monkey. It's so close to death.
Yeah, now he can try to apply this glancing debuff since he knows his Chi will lapse because of the speed buff. Yes, beautiful. He plays it right, taking the damage out, and now he can just try to finish it up with the second skill, and he finishes it.
Clutches out the kill. Here comes Verd to try to do what he can to make the best out of a bad situation. Okeanos, at this point, I think Shizo is kind of thinking about what he's going to do in the next game here, just kind of waiting this out because Okeanos is gone. It's Verd all by his lonesome, staring down the barrel of a defense break.
Yes, and this is game. The thing was, he put all of his belief in this Vertihill to counter. He had 2 chances, and he's probably a triple revenge Verd, but unfortunately, he did not revenge on the Chiwu, neither on the Savannah.
Multiple chances.
Later on.
And it was a good, I like those odds. I like banking on that sort of thing. It was a good strategy to deal with those monsters that have so many frequent AoEs. There were a lot of opportunities, like you said. Unfortunately, Verd just, he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to counter.
And the risk that Shizzy decided to take, but once again, we talked about it. He's probably the most aggressive player in this tournament, and he's going to go for your throat. He's going to kill monsters. He doesn't want to only control you. He wants to kill you fast, because CC comps, if they take a long time, you have chance of proccing, death breaking, stunning, and then coming back from it. He controlled the Oki, then like we said, he needs to kill the Ciara. He went right for it and finished her off.
Here we go into round 2, credit where credit is due. Shizzy is probably one of the only ones who would take a risk that big in the opening turns. I can't wait to see what he's going to do this game and see if he repeats that sort of thing.
And it paid off, Evan. This time, we're probably going to see the switch. Can Seishizo pre-ban Gianna this time, and we're not going to see her again, and then Shizzy switch it to maybe the Oki. Or the Ciara if he doesn't want to use it. Chiwu. Interesting.
Chiwu.
Like we said, Gianna on the Seishizo side expected, but the Chiwu is the big surprise. So it means that Shizzy can try to bring a different type of comp. Since he wants turn 1 right now, is he going to steal the Oki or get the Ciara?
I'm anticipating an Okeanos. There it is, Okeanos, first pick. Again, he's really enjoying that first pick slot. Brings a lot to the table between CC and reset, and with a Ganymede having the double reset, that's a little scary. So we'll see if that follows.
Lots of damage with the artifacts. Right now, that Rain of Stones hits like never before. The additional damage has transformed Okeanos and also the whole family of the Oracle.
All of the Oracles are hitting so hard on their first skill. Ciara is on the table. If she makes it through, pay extra close attention to that first skill because we're going to be seeing multiple digits of damage. We're going to be seeing maybe 2,000-3,000 damage from each attack.
If we don't see an AoE stripper right now, if Chung Pung doesn't come into a table or something like that, we might see Fran come in or some type of immunity. These players know each other very well, and now he says, I want first turn with a 33% speed lead from Vanessa and the Fran.
And the Fran. So he's covering all of his bases, and Seishizo did a really smart thing when he broke up the Oki-Gani combo so that he couldn't get double reset here. There's Praha. back again.
Which is great against Fran. She has the strip, and if she's on Vio, she can proc into the sleeve, controlling these two fire units. Remembering, once again, she's an Oracle, so she can hit 2k on each basic hit, and the bigger! Finally, we see him coming in. Lots of heals, lots of damage. Great Savannah last pick, countering all these monsters on the table, especially the two win ones and the Han.
Shizzy is feeling pretty comfortable against the 4 monsters that Seishiza has locked down already. Shizzy's bringing an almost completely new draft save for the Okeanos.
Whoa!
Sion, baby!
New content in there here. Now, we might see a surprising ban right here because the Sion is super strong, but the reset from Oki can change this match. So is he going to leave it on the table and go against the 4 that he drafted against, or is he more afraid of a Ciara late game?
Let's see what Shizzy has to say here, because he might feel comfortable with that Fran, and he does, and he chooses to leave both of the bomb units in play.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the ban on the Savannah, because you know you only had one stripper. Now you have no strip. The Fran, if she goes first, she can just protect her team and no bombs will go off. That's too risky of a ban.
That is a big risk to see. Let's see who gets first turn. Ganymede, but he doesn't have a lot to do on that first turn.
The Oki has Will, Evan. How are you going to deal with an Okeanos with Will? He can go for the reset like we talked about.
Increase cooldown time.
Huge play. And now the Sion goes bye-bye without doing anything. How can you deal with that? Now the immunity from Fran comes up, and this looks like a lock because this Han is going to have free reign over everyone, and the Ciara won't have the opening unless he procs. No, he doesn't proc out of the immunity.
Immunity on everybody on Shizzy's side. This is exactly the kind of game that we thought we would see from him. Super aggressive, a kill on a monster right out the gate, and now he's got control.
If Vanessa procs, it might be in trouble. She doesn't. So no bomb targets for Ciara, and now she uses it very wisely to get out of the death break. If you guys are thinking at home that he missed, he didn't see that there was immunity. No, that was totally on purpose. Great play, but the Oki will come in and he needs to resist that rain of stones on 2 monsters. No resistance.
No resist. Fran with that immunity early on is just, she's kind of locked it down. None of these monsters can do anything as long as immunity's on the table. Vigor here with a proc, chooses to heal.
Big proc, but the thing is the Ciara's too low already. She still hits the crit. No proc from the Ciara. He can just go to finish it off because even with a speed buff, his team's too fast. The Han has already the solution. He even saves it.
First skill.
Oh
That's
my God.
a statement.
Whoa.
First skill from Han instead.
That's like emoting.
Wow, Shizzy, that was. He knows that he's got it in the bag right here, and Ciara wasn't going to be able to do too much. She had an attack broken. She was stunned on the turn that she was going to take. If she didn't proc there, it was pretty much over.
The Fran is going to protect the team, and like we talked once again, the net 3, the fake net 3, the almost net 5, she comes in and decides the match. Proc from the Han to finish it off that Ganny, and this was a complete domination from Shizzy. Lots of aggressive picks, great Okeanos pick to counter the Sion, and the best ban possible. You only have one stripper on your team, I'm going to take it out and bank on you letting my friend through.
Shizzy with an amazing show already, really putting his opponent in a difficult spot. Unrelenting force with a 2-0 in the second set. He has found his way to the finals against Pinkroyd.
And we see Okeanos meta, baby. Papa Oki's back, and with a vengeance.
My granddad, Okeanos. That game, though. Okeanos with the start, and it was so dangerous to have Fran in play without going first. Like, once that was done, Ganny couldn't do anything, Ciara couldn't do anything, Vigor couldn't land defense break. It was a rough time for Seishiza.
I think he was banking on a swift Oki without Will. But this Okeanos had Will, was protected because there was a fast Ganny.
Yeah.
That Ganny took first turn and could have reset any Oki without a Will, but the Oki was protected, so nothing to be done there.
That was pretty amazing tech to put your Okeanos on Will. Like, the whole team was willed up at the start there, basically making Seishizo's comp unfortunately unable to do anything, and that's kind of a situation that's hard to predict.
Yeah, it was a great pick and ban, but I think he risked it a little bit, not banning the Fran, picking the Sion. If you pick the Sion or a Belinus last pick, you want to ban the immunity to guarantee that some of the damage is going to come in. But what maybe he thought is, he's going to ban the Sion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm baiting the ban, so he risked it all. It's a style. Remember, in Summoner's War, there's little to be done that can be called wrong. Sometimes it's strategy. You have to think that your opponent's going to be afraid of something, try to bait for a ban, try to predict what they're going to do.
It's psychological warfare, and then you got to get down into the nitty-gritty of, like, what kind of a player is my opponent? Is he more aggressive? Does he play more defensively? Does he take less risks or more risks? In this case, Shizzy was a more aggressive player who's willing to take some risks, but Seishizo, I got to give respect. He did take a risk, and I like it. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for him, but he did take a risk in that pick ban phase.
And with this, we see a very dominating performance with something that is not what Pinkroyd had to deal with on the first round, on the semifinals. Now we see a very aggressive comp coming into it, so probably they're going to have to fight for those speed leads, see who gets the Chiwu, who gets the Ciara, and try to go after it, because this time we have one Gianna player against one that doesn't have it.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird game, especially for Pinkroyd coming off of something like How to Play, though maybe he's a little bit used to that flexibility after fighting a player like that. But Shizzy is likely, like you said, he's going to present those early monsters, but then it's free game. He's going to bring some weird damage monsters that are going to knock out a Sion on turn 1.
Yeah, we're going to probably see Savannah's back, the Chiwu, and we haven't seen Barbara or Masha yet, but I would love to see more Beast Riders in this draft with lots of damage coming in.
Yeah, a big burst damage comp would be really fun to watch. Guys, it's the end of the year, and we have a little bit of a surprise for you. We've got a code at the bottom of the screen to give you a mystical scroll, or 2 mystical scrolls rather, and 150,000 mana for upgrading all those runes that I know you've been farming.
Hey, maybe this is my Bastet coming.
Yeah,
finally,
this could be
guys.
We forgot to summon before the stream.
Oh no!
Oh.
I should. In this break, I'll summon and I'll tell you guys I have 3 LDs. Hopefully, I can get a light Grim Reaper.
A light Grim Reaper?
Prom,
that
baby.
Prom would be really fun to
Which
build.
one are you guys building? Which new 2As? Did you guys go for the Howls or the Green Reapers? I already have 1 Thrain, but I'm going to build like 3 or 4.
I went for the Howls. I'm building a Lulu and Friends right now. Lulu and Co. Lulu Inc., as it were. And we've got mods in chat who likely have the link for iOS. This code here is just for Android users out there, but look to the chat for how to find that link so that way you can redeem on your iPhones.
And this match is going to be extremely interesting. A clash of styles. These 2 players that have come here in different ways, because we saw Pinkroyd dominating the whole season.
Yeah.
First place, 500 points ahead of everyone else. Shizzy had always stayed at the top, but finished 3rd. So many people were not counting him in, especially with How to Play coming in 4th at the end. They were very close. They could have swapped positions, and we would have seen Shizzy Pinkroyd on round 1.
This
but
could have been
was
a
super close.
completely different tournament, given a few more minutes, maybe an extra hour. Guys, we're going to be going to another 3-minute break, but after that, we're coming back to the best of 5 final, Shizzy versus Pinkroyd. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the RTA Season 15 Legend Tournament. My name is Evan.
And I'm still Seppi. And now we're going to be in the finals, a best of 5, where these two players will have a little bit more time in games to assess each other's strategies and adapt, Evan. A best of 3 sometimes can be decided by one missed pick, one missed bend, a little misplay, a monster that you should have reset that you didn't. But in this one, 5 matches. They can come back. We've seen 2-0s becoming 3-2s. Is this going to happen again? Or we're going to see people dominating?
That's the thing. In a best of 3, you got to stay on your toes and think fast, because one wrong step could end to your elimination from the tournament, as it has happened to so many people before this. But in a best of 5, you really get a chance to get to know your opponent a little better and adapt more accordingly. So this is going to be really interesting, because we're seeing two new names to the tournament scene. We're seeing Pinkroyd versus Shizzy. Pinkroyd we saw play against How to Play with a traditional kind of mid-range CC comp, and then we saw Shizzy with his very aggressive playstyle, such that knocking out monsters turn 1.
And something that I really loved from Pinkroyd was that he is a CC player, very strong with it, but once How to Play switched to CC, he said, I play this all the time, so I know how to counter it. I'm going to bring Josephine, I'm going to bring the monkey, and Ciara fits every comp. And he did it, and he did it very well. So we may see how prepared he is to go against this more aggressive comp that is brought by Shizzy. Can he bring some monsters that can out-sustain him? Are we going to see a Molly coming back in? Is the Vigor going to be on his side? We're going to find out, but first, let's take a look at this 2-0 from Shizzy versus Seishizo.
Yeah, before we look to the future, we're going to look at the past real quick. Here comes that Praha. We saw that cycle was incredible.
2.5 with the death break, very hard. And then when he killed the main threat, the Praha, with the control, the recent buff, the 100% activation rate, and those death breaks came in super strong. The Savannah dominating the match with the Shiwu, and the Verd, unfortunately, did not counter everyone.
Yeah, he didn't. He had multiple chances to do the counter, and it was a good tech attempt from Seishizo, but it just didn't happen. Here it is, that knockout on Cien early, just getting rid of a threat so fast, and then that was it. That was the moment where Shizzy made sure that nothing could ever be landed on his team for the rest of the match.
Yeah, when he hit that reset and he saw that he had no scripts, he knew he had 2 turns of advantage to deal with it. He doesn't even use the 3rd skill. He knows he has it in the bag, and now he saves it for the Ganny, procs on it. The match was already over and dominated with this extremely aggressive composition. Speed lead, Okeanos, lots of damage, but the MVP once again was the Nat 3 that all of you at home.
She's got you deceived. She's deceived us all. We think she's a Nat 3, but Fran has been a Nat 5 her whole life there. That first skill from Han was so indicative of how Shizzy was feeling in the moment. He was feeling confident. He knew he had it. It was like, that was just such a great look into his headspace. Now here's the most updated bracket after the semifinals are over, and we've got Pinkroyd versus Shizzy in the finals. Again, a best of 5. These players are going to get to know each other very well over the course of the next few matches.
And even better, we have a new legend, Evan. Someone that has never won the title is going to bring it home and be able to be called a champion and maybe come in later on. Pinkroyd came really close to being in the EU Cup. Shizzy, not that close to being in it, but maybe from here they get that boost of confidence that they need for SWC next year.
Right, this is Pinkroyd's second attempt at tournament glory, and again, Shizzy hangs out in the noob room, so if you ever want to try some friendly against him, he might be down. Yeah, if you ever want to lose, that's a fast way to do it. No, it's very fun playing against these players. Remember, they've got their personality when they're in a tournament versus how they're helping you in a friendly game. Though Shizzy, I bet, would love to first skill me with his Han all day. That would be great.
And the great thing, talking about these players making the leap, right? We saw Velipity, that was always a reserve player in the EU Cup. This year coming, getting his first chance, and just turning the tables.
Turning the tables around.
Taking it all the way to be the champion. So maybe this is the beginning of another one of these stories. Let's go into match number 1 of these finals for the legend of this season 15.
This set is the end of the RTA season. Whoever comes out on top here gets stamped in the Hall of Fame for all eternity.
as the best player of this season. Pinkroyd with the first pick. Is he going to opt for the Gianna pre-ban? And yes, he does. On the other side, the Tian Lang, because Shizzy's thinking of gaining turns apparently.
Interesting.
And getting a lot of attack bar.
Does he have some units that gain attack bar, I wonder? That is a very smart pre-ban from him. Again, Tian Lang throwing a wrench into multiple units that we'll probably see picked here.
And we see why he banned that. The Okeano is extremely dangerous. Once again, Pinkroyd very fast with the Oki Savannah, not letting the Savannah to combo with the Chiwu and the speed lead from the Vanessa. Very curious here that Oki has replaced Ciara as the first pick and Gani as the counter to Oki. More important in a team to ventilate someone that has been reset.
That's a really good point, because hoping now that your teammate has lost their skills, Gani's right there to give it back and facilitate that combo again. Here comes Fran and Ciara on Shizzy's draft, and he has the privilege of having last pick.
And Pinkroyd is kind of like, I don't care that you banned my Tian Lang because I wasn't going to pick him because I'm picking Vert and Diana and he counters my own comp.
That was such a strategic pivot. As soon as the attack bar reduction from Tian Lang was off the table, he went full attack bar. Love it.
Once again, last pick Rika, very strong against comps that don't have immunity. This kind of signals an Oki ban if this Rika goes through, but Pinkroyd might not want to go against any of this. Can he deal with the Diana without the Rika? Just with the Ciara, maybe a proc from the Diana or a second skill from this Savannah can take her down. So very risky plays on both sides. Let's see if they're gonna ban that. Yep, we called it. Rika and Oki.
Yeah, they're both presenting some really big threats on the table. We're gonna see who gets first turn here in a second. I'm glad the Rika's off the table because I don't think Pink was equipped to handle all those dots.
Yeah, lots of damage, but remember, the Diana constantly cycling and getting out of this will give space for the Ciara. And the thing is, he only has those two strips and he has to risk it all on a proc right now. Is this Savannah on Violet? That's the question.
We're about to find out.
Oh, he doesn't.
He doesn't do it? Interesting. He opts for the third skill to put a defense break on a single monster and get speed buff on his whole team.
The thing is that now he's gonna take an attack buff bomb from the Ciara, and she is probably gonna cycle, or she's gonna already detonate it and try to take someone down with it.
That was an interesting yield from Pink, choosing to go for the single defense break instead of the strip and hoping for a proc. If this is the same timeline, he didn't get that proc, so maybe it was a good choice in the long term.
I don't know. He could have saved it to have the death break right here into the Ciara, but now he goes for the strip, and he would have had a lot of damage into the Ciara. Now, he keeps hitting that friend. Can this pony one? No proc. Good for him, because if he transforms, he takes the bomb to the face. So this bomb was very good. And now the ventilate from Gani. The friend can protect the whole team once again, and the Verdehill can try to go for the kill. Can the Savannah kill? No!
Pink doing everything in his power to try to stop this Fran from sustaining the team. Diana takes the bomb, is ultimately going to die from another bomb's detonation, I imagine.
This is perfect for Shizzy, because now he can bomb the Verd, stun him, so the other team doesn't take it. Oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to stun. He says, you can take attack bar because the Vanessa is reset, so the Diana's off the table, and now we'll have my bomb back. He's trusting his team, but the friend goes bye-bye. I don't know if this was a little bit risky because we have the proc he's been waiting for. No attack bar reduction, Evan.
No attack bar reduction. He's going to get the opportunity to put some damage on the Ciara here, but is it? He could get a
proc.
Oh!
He risked it all. And now, once again, choice that was extremely risky by Shizzy can be dangerous. He comes back to bite him. Can he survive this? Can this dot is going to drop? No, he doesn't let it drop.
He wants to secure the kill. This is him making up for that. This is a redemption arc for this team. Shizzy securing the kill on Savannah and now sporting two monsters to that single Vanessa.
Yeah, now the Gani has the reset. He knew he could get that kill with the third skill, and he banked on Ciara not dying. How lucky. If Vanessa procced, that was it. Would have no bomb.
That was it, and somebody else would have had defense break on him. That was a big risk.
Close match, but once again, Shizzy's showing, I have an aggressive playstyle. I'm gonna risk it, and I'm gonna win it.
And he's gonna win it. Shizzy taking round 1 again of a best of 5. He's going to have to do that at least 2 more times in a row in order to get the win and the legend. And he takes it with a 2-to-1 matchup against that Vanessa, too, famously known for being better than 1.
Exactly. But the interesting thing is how close this match was. One proc from one side could have changed it all. So great drafts on both sides. Protection was there, but maybe that Savannah saving the death break would have changed it all, or if she could have reduced the Ciara attack bar. The Ciara resisted.
Yeah, there were a couple of opportunities where Shizzy could have done something a little more guaranteed, but he tried. He took a risk to try to get a higher yield, and I respect that. That's what I like to see in my Legend tournaments, and it's great that he's still doing it, and he still brought it back after that. Shizzy did an amazing comp there. Both players, great drafts.
And I love it. Stealing each other's monsters. He took the Savannah away so Shizzy wouldn't have it, but Shizzy brought the Ciara, and the Ciara, with an attack buff from Fran, is extremely dangerous. Neutralize the Diana completely.
Let's see if he can do it again. Here comes Shizzy versus Pinkroyd in the second round of the final set of the RTA Season 15 Legend Tournament.
I would love to see some immunity from Pinkroyd's side if that Ganny is still getting picked, because the Ganny reset on Vanessa was extremely important to kill the Diana right away, and the Velajol can be an interesting option. We saw it a lot on SWC. Maybe we'll see it right now because he stole the Fran from Pinkroyd that time. Now, pre-ban, Ganny on one side. Surprise, surprise, I'm back, guys. You tried to nerf me twice, but I'm still
here. You might have given my first skill to Julie, but I'm still here.
The Han pre-ban and Shizzy with the Oki. No one cares about Ciara, but now Pinkroyd secures 2 speed leads. So tell Shizzy you have to pick Vanessa right now if you want to outspeed me.
That's right. He needs to bank on that 33% speed lead if he wants to vie for that first turn, and the Oki leads me to believe that he does.
Yeah. And with a Ganny being banned, maybe we'll see a Chung Pung coming in to be that second reset, and he guarantees the Savannah to avoid Pinkroyd getting the Chiwu combo. They're splitting it. Now I love the Fran pick. I was saying he needs some immunity. He needs some sustain to try to hold off this aggressive composition from Shizzy.
Right, and we've been here before. We've seen the Fran immunity go up and stop the defense break from Savannah.
Yeah, this is kind of an early Rika pick. Let's see if Shizzy picks some immunity to neutralize it last and maybe try to ban. Strip, but he locks in already the Gianna, who will be this last pick.
And I'm even more interested to see what Pinkroyd's last pick is going to be, because he did pick Rika a little earlier. There's the cleanse to deal with the Rika.
It's not immunity, but it's cleanse.
Close enough.
Brings Death Break. The Etna, I love that she's here, finally back, which kind of tell us he's going to ban the speed lead to try to outspeed, because Etna has a super high base speed, and he has triple speed lead. Let's respect the 10% from
Fran. We got to give respect where it's due. We'll see what Pinkroyd opts for when it comes to the ban here. He's well equipped to deal with most things. The the Annabelle gets in the way of the Rika a little bit, but you know what? That's what you get when you don't last pick your dot monster.
Yeah, in that sense, I love the bans. He goes for the Gianna. Actually, that was surprising. I like the ban on the Ciara, but Gianna, I think it's a little bit risky, because now, can this Okeanos outspeed the Chiwu? That's the real question.
Is this the one that was on Will? Is this the same one
yes.
that's on? It's the same
Oh,
Will
he doesn't. He's violent. 100% res on that Annabelle for sure, because she didn't even have Will.
Still no defense break.
But can she use it right now? Or no, he saves it because he tries to reset the Rika right now, or the Fran actually, because he will have immunity. He has to choose, do I want to take damage or do I want to take the immunity away, and he goes for the immunity.
He opts for the damage. That must mean that these monsters are tankier than we think, and there's the lockdown, but again, Annabelle resisting. Nothing will land on her.
100%, can she get the guaranteed stun? She gets it! 50%, changing the match,
that's huge.
It's risky play once again, and now the Annabelle won't have enough attack bar. He needs to get rid of that, and now she goes away.
And here comes the Rika to pile on some dots, and
the Despair stun!
Annabelle is stunned.
Despair can't be resisted, Evan. That's
the whole point.
That's what he forgot to think about. Now, even with 100% res, the Despair has the chance to activate 25%.
The whole point of saving that Annabelle skill too is now it's looking way dangerous here, because maybe he'll get the opportunity unless Chiwu can take a kill right now. because Annabelle moves. Oh, nope, that's it. That's the kill on Vanessa.
If she procs, she's gonna drop off the chair. Does not proc. The stun. The stun can finish off the game. That's why I was so afraid. Oh, he saves it because he knows the cleanse is coming. Beautiful play. Great proc.
It wasn't too big of a heal, but it's enough. The biggest thing was getting rid of those shots. Here comes the immunity, so the next couple turns for Shizzy are going to be a little sad. He's not going to have a whole lot that he can do, especially when his attack bars keep getting pushed back.
This can be the first time where taking that aggressive approach on Shizzy's side may have been too dangerous. Maybe resetting the Rika would have been the best choice in that case, but he went for the friend reset. Here comes one more stun. If she procs, she has the heal.
Let's get a sleep. No sleep. No sleep from Shizzy. Love the aggressive approach. Love the risk taking. Unfortunately, it kind of bit him in this one battle.
Ooh, beautiful proc from Fran that reduces 2 attack bars. Can he kill the Okeanos right now? Is this attack? Yes, sir!
Whoa.
1 HP, but the proc from Savannah!
1 HP! What can she do with 1 skill, an attack break, and a dream? We're gonna see what she can do. It's 2.3k is the answer.
But this Annabelle has the heal and a huge proc. The Okeanos right now saved. There's Rain of Stones. This is gonna hit really hard and can lock down this match for Shizzy. 1 HP!
Can he hang on?
What is this match?
Can he hang on?
What is this match? Who does he choose? He needs a proc. No proc from the Fran.
He can kill the Fran or the Chiwu right here.
Yes.
And if he gets a sleep, and if he gets
two of them are dead. Two of them are dead because now he has the Savannah moving in front. He can reset and he can guarantee a kill. Yes, one is dead. The second one would be dead as well, and I don't think this Rika can carry it home.
Not against 100% resistance. Annabelle Shizzy might have this game in the bag.
Yes, he has the cleanse, and that's probably GG. What a turn of events, Evan. Annabelle, MVP of the match. I think Ken Baller's at home saying, do you see this, guys?
Told you. Did you see it?
Told you. Annabelle's amazing.
I told you. She's also a pretty good counter to Vigor, and sometimes that was amazing showing, especially when he got the best of both worlds, when he was able to cleanse and apply defense break. Annabelle, 100% resistance. From the beginning, she didn't want anything applied on her. She was resisting everything that she could, save for that despair stun that doesn't even meet the requirements to be resistant. So that was a little bit dangerous.
Almost changed the match.
It did.
How big is it? But one proc from her was all she needed to have the cooldowns on the next turn, cleanse the team continuously, and bring in that slow and death break, enabling the damage from Okeanos.
Right, and that one choice in the beginning of the game, when he held Annabelle's second skill, Shizzy was spending the majority of the game just making up for that choice. He was trying to make up for lost time and stay in, and then he just put that situation on Pink in the end game.
Like we said, he likes risking it.
And I love it.
He trusts his runes. I think the thing was he knew his monsters were tanky. He knew he could withstand some damage and wait for the cleanse to come out. So it's also knowing your monsters, knowing how much damage you can take, and knowing how many turns.
And how many turns and a lot of faith. And also, it stands to be mentioned that Annabelle never once got the sleep off of her first skill. Like she needed it a few times to get her second skill back online, but he had to rely on other means to climb back up. Great game from both players already. I love seeing Shizzy cling to that playstyle, even if it is making him kind of climb back up from a downward position. Now, can Pink turn this around in this third round of the finals?
Yeah, he needs to bring it back, maybe change a little bit of his picks because the pre-band's probably gonna be the same of the first match. Now he changed it to Han, maybe going back to Gianna to avoid that dangerous combo.
And that's exactly what he does. Tion Lang, however, is also back on the chopping block too. They have a pretty big reach here as far as their monster box goes.
Yeah. And we're seeing how powerful the Okeanos is, so Pink Royd probably will get him out of Shizzy's hand. But the question is, will Shizzy take away now the Gani Chiwu? Yes, sir. That's what he does. And fast reply with Ciara, the speed lead, and Fran to protect yourself. And now probably the Savannah may come in as a threat, or will he switch it up and bring the Han with some other type of CC?
If I was in Shizzy's position, I would probably want to close this out as fast as possible to not give Pink enough time to adapt in game. So I'm expecting, there it is, the Han. And a Juno.
Yeah, we see a meta-defining monster that hadn't appeared a lot. Juno is back, baby. Great against the Oki. Can also work really well against the CR, and he still picks up the Savannah which kind of tells us
It's
what he's going to
signaling.
try to ban.
Signaling maybe the Juno here. He's thinking about it. Again, nothing's locked in for Pink at this point. These are still his last 2 picks, and if he's not careful, they could be his last 2 picks of the tournament.
Chiho is back, baby. That tells me he's not banning Juno. He's banning the Chihu, but now the last pick from Leo, super fast. But he's probably on Will, so I don't know. I think he still bans the Chihu. Yes, great ban on both sides. The question is everyone on Will on Pinkroyd's side, and can he kill that
That's
Juno
a lot of
fast enough?
danger.
Yeah.
Shizzy is presenting a lot of danger in this comp here. Leo is obviously the fastest monster in the game. He's going to get turn 1 here.
But he has triple strip.
Yes.
How squishy is this monkey? Can the Leo go proc and try to kill the monkey right away? No, he goes for the Oki. Wasn't on Will. Wasn't on Will, but missed. He goes for the reset. Hits it on the Gan, increase cooldown.
Wow, so Ganymede is down a skill already. How much damage is this going to do? Han's typically built a little on the tankier side so they can stick around, because once you have that defense break
But
and
now,
cycling,
there's
you
no
don't need-
immunity. She misses on everyone. And the real thing is, even if he buffs right now, the Juno would strip. So he doesn't. He just waits for it because she can't strip the speed buff. That doesn't really make that big of a difference because there's a Leo on the table.
Right, it's an unnecessary risk to take. Let's see if he bites. He doesn't. He sees through it and he opts to save the second skill. Here comes Han trying to get somebody down low, and he's going to get his attack bar filled up again, but doing this through an attack break is a really difficult thing to ask of him.
Yup, he would have killed already, and this Juno showing her colors with a beautiful despair stun proc from the Leo like we talked about. This is a big game because no attack bar reduction, and he doesn't get the kill. He doesn't get the kill on the Han. This may have cost him a lot because no attack bar reduction from the Savannah. Only 1 stun from the monkey. He needs a proc, like he needs everything right now. Kills him, but no proc.
And he just reset that Han too. Leo, here he has an opportunity to get some big damage in on the monkey, but only decides to take 1 turn.
She needed that proc, but the question is, will this monkey carry hard enough? No proc from the friend. If the Genny procs, no proc. She stunned 2 monsters already. She doesn't get the 3rd one. That's good. He'll get to protect himself, but the Juno probably has the strip back, Evan.
She might. I think she has it.
She does.
She's got it already again. So if she wants, she can throw that down.
Yeah, she's just
Fran puts
waiting
it up.
for the friend, but the thing is, friend's gonna be dead, my friend.
Goes for the crit and is not rewarded. Pink risked everything on that attack right there.
Gigantic proc. He can reduce attack bars. He's praying. Does not reduce attack bars.
He
the
needed
reset
that.
is gonna come in. The Juno's gonna heal because of this death break, and he doesn't even use it.
Fran.
He saves it. The strip comes in finally, and this might be the end of the match because glancing on the monkey, he stuns the only monster he didn't want to stun.
Right, the only one on the table that he didn't want the stunt on. Fran didn't even get the chance to use the skill, just
He
holding
needs
it
a
the whole
proc.
match.
He needs a proc
One
right
proc.
now. No proc to kill the Juno. The reset will come in. The Juno will stand like a winner, showing what she's so powerful against the CC comps, against the Savannah. And now hitting her, dropping, knocking her off the chair, finishes him. And with this, Leo and Juno, the counter to the control, will take this home. I don't think this has any other way of ending, and Leo finishes it off.
It's Shizzy! He is our Legend Tournament champion. His name is going in the Hall of Fame. A newcomer. Congratulations to Shizzy, and honestly to everybody for even just making it here. That was an amazing show from Shizzy.
Amazing showing, came out of it without any losses. 2-0 and 3-0. Dominating performance and using Monagua's favorite and signature monster, Leozada.
Leozada. Nice.
Very strong counter picks. He's not afraid of changing the end of his draft to deal with the threats that the opponent might bring. We saw a lot of very aggressive Chiwu picks in the beginning and then bringing in some sustain, some mid-range monsters, bringing in a Leo like we saw on this one, kind of forcing the hand of the opponent.
And so fast too. That was the thing that he was so talented at in the pick ban phase, is just presenting multiple threats. It's like, who do you ban? You're kind of, it's bad if you do, it's bad if you don't. You know, it's like whoever you choose, you're going to be facing something else, be it a double reset, be it a Han in general, just a Han and a Leo. Like that was a tough call to make on the side of Pink, and he did a really good job making it to the finals and doing everything he could against Shizzy there, but all that aggression, that was pretty incredible.
Yeah. So if you want to learn how to counter a Savannah, this was the best class you could have gotten.
That was it. That was it right there. Combination Leo damage.
Yeah. very, very strong picks on both sides, and Pinkroyd also trying to go around, bringing in the friend to bring the sustain, and the protection was a really good pick. But the thing was, Savannah did not hit those attack bar reductions.
No, and
because we got to remember, Savannah works in 3 checks basically. She has to have more attack than defense on the opponent to death break. She has to have more speed than the opponent to reduce attack bars. But what does Leo do? He makes you slower than him.
Leo makes you slower.
So really good counter.
It's an amazing counter, and that's what he needed, and that's another reason why Savannah is just such a stat-hungry monster. She needs the attack, she needs the speed, and she needs the accuracy just to land it at the end too. There's a lot of checks to go through, and that was a great last pick, showing the Leo at the end. Shizzy really making a statement here at his first Legend tournament, walking away with the title.
And we saw a lot of matches with free-to-play, 3-star monsters, 4 stars, doing very well, but this time, Leo and Juno, the anti-Beast Rider, well, not the water one.
Not Barbara.
Not Barbara, Juno, poor Juno. But Juno was really strong. She stunned monsters in the moment that he needed to. He got the strips on Fran, strips on the monkey. No immunity for you, sir.
And I'm glad that we got to see her, Juno, in such a crucial match too, because we had briefly brought her up earlier in the tournament talking about how she was just such a great counter to most of the monsters in the meta right now. And then there she is in the very last round of the Legend tournament, showing why she's so amazing. As soon as something's on her, she's back up and healing her team.
And so decisive. That's the thing. After she got that buff, it just made her so much more usable, and the artifacts, once again, making the oracles extremely powerful. How hard did she hit?
2.5k per hit. That skill hits 3 times.
And built on crit rate, so they cycle so strong, and with the Leo, it makes it even stronger because all the attack bars are capped, but she keeps cycling and gaining attack bars. And once again, guys, thank you for being with us, and remember, we're gonna have our new season 16 in 2021.
That's a big season.
Enjoy this 2 mystical scrolls and 100 energy for you to farm in our repeat battle system.
That's right. Yeah, season 16 is going to be probably one of the most exciting RTA seasons we've seen in a while, because we're going to be seeing quite a few new monsters be allowed in the pick ban phase to begin with.
I said 21 new monsters and then the 2As, but Evan correctly said that is actually
42 if you count the original monsters, right?
Exactly.
Which most people don't.
So the collaboration, and you might see a Slayer, other things over there if people got them after it ended.
That's right. So we're going to be seeing some fresh faces here in the RTA Season 16. That's going to be a Legend tournament I'm really excited to get.
Yeah, careful with the light Chun-Li cleaves.
Yeah.
That's where the Leos are going to come in back again.
Yeah, the Leo has only gotten stronger against this. We keep finding new ways for him to counter people. It doesn't take a lot.
Are we going to see Oki, Dark Ryu for eternal
so
stunts?
Cool. Oh, in an RTA setting would be awesome. We've only gotten to see it in Arena Guild Wars like
Is
that.
Thrain gonna come into the meta? I know he's a little bit on the slow side, but dots, stuns, attack bar gain, really exciting monsters. The Prom, really good for slow cleaves as well. So I think a lot of monsters have the ability to be used in the meta. We remember how long it took for Vigor to come into the RTA meta.
Like 4 months?
Yeah, it
after
was
he was
released.
out?
No one thought it was good. Everyone read the skills and was like, I don't know. Then Zerpolita, that is a player that made it to the EU Cup, was using him since day one. Then a lot of players started using him more as a counter to Vertihil, as a counter even to some of the Beast Riders, and he's just one of the strongest monsters in the RTA meta and also in Siege and Guild War defenses.
Saw him a little bit today. Yeah, Zerpolita was sitting at the pilot seat of that bandwagon, and I'm happy to be on it. Vigor has massively improved a lot of aspects of my Summoners War gameplay, not just RTA. So, generally speaking, I'm comfortable saying that this Legend tournament is one of my favorites in recent memories. Which was your favorite match? Mine was definitely all of Shizzy's, and I think that one, that first skill from him, that was just so, that was emoting, basically.
It was beautiful, but I have to give it to the Pinkroyd match against How to Play with the Fran and Verd, countering the triple win. There was Tyrannus, Artemiel, Ganymede, the Chumpung, so many powerful monsters, and then he brought 2 free-to-play monsters and Ciara and just won the match.
And so many powerful monsters that are known for just kind of sitting there too, and that's why he was able to take
comp. Great counter, great analysis. So we saw a lot of great plays here, but Shizzy had studied his opponent, decided that he was going to play it very aggressively, very risky, and the risk paid off.
And there were a couple moments during this tournament where I thought, surely he's going to pull back a little bit, right? Like, you know, that was a big risk. He made it work, but that was a big risk. Maybe he doesn't want to do that again? Sure enough, yeah, he wanted to do that again.
But this has been kind of a trend recently. We saw the champion of the America's Cup, J-Mac, playing very aggressively with the first turn, strip, the Chiwu, the Chongpeng, the Jameer even as a second, the Han. So very aggressive comps. Same thing in EU with Villipity. So aggressive players making it. Gaia in Japan, in the APAC region. So a lot of aggressive players making it far, even though the master of counterpicking, the master of countering, control, and damage was the one that won the tournament in SWC. Today, the aggressiveness won.
That's right. Yeah, Villipity bringing a little bit of that wrestling spirit to his draft, which I know it brought a lot of joy to everybody who was watching that tournament too. It's great having him fighting J-Mac on our stream earlier too.
Yeah, if you guys caught it, leave some hearts in chat for those two beautiful gentlemen and amazing RTA players.
Yeah, we can't see chat right now, but we know you're typing it. We'll
watch it later.
We'll watch the VOD.
We'll watch the VOD. We got you guys.
We'll take a look at that later. So again, Shizzy walking home with also that new statue for his island to cement his victory, and he's going into the Summoners War history books because he's in the Hall of Fame now too.
Yeah, like we said, this gives a lot of confidence. Maybe this type of matches will even change the meta further. We did not see Hathor action today. Many people asked for a nerf for a long time, and Hathor has been indirectly nerfed by the meta, the aggressiveness, the amount of damage, the Okeanos being stronger, all these oracles, the Junos.
The Junos of the world.
So many things that have changed the meta, and that's very interesting. It's a game that it's alive, and once again, like you said, this might be the most interesting season yet. Season 16 with 21 monsters, plus the new 2As, plus changes coming into the game. We're gonna see what's gonna be the new meta.
Yeah, RTA is not exactly going to be the same. I'm also really excited to see how Dark Dulce plays into all this too. The Dark Poison.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes, Rika picked Dark Dulce.
Yeah, there it is, and just gain a bunch of attack bar. The ragdoll of debuffs, as I kind of, in a reductive manner, like to call him, right?
I accept that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Not as bad as Gani is Mav, right?
No,
not as bad as that
one's
one.
not that close, but but other monsters also, like we were talking about, the Dark Ryu, extremely strong, the Light Chun-Li, and also some monsters that are not seen as that good, but I think can make a big splash and surprise people, like the Water Ryu, a counter cleave measure. It has a speed lead, it has a cutting mechanic to disrupt the opponent, maybe with some despair to attempt to strip and stun. So a lot of monsters that can surprise you.
Right, or we might see a weird case where like we see an alternate Daphnis in the Wind Ryu. We see alternate picks to stuff, and like you said too, a lot of monsters might kind of crawl out of the woodwork, as it were, because they might end up being a combo for one of these new units. Like, who is going to facilitate the combo for Dark Ryu? We won't know until Season 16 hits, but that's a combo that I'm excited to find out about.
And remember, we might have a balance patch coming soon, so more changes can come into that mix. So who would you guys like to see buffed in the next balance patch? Don't say a monster that you own. Say one that your
there's a
friends
challenge.
own.
Wow, that's a big challenge. I like that game.
You know, I would say one that I don't own that I would love to see buffed again. Geldnir.
Oh.
Geldnir and Ariel, but that one I own. So
I own Ariel too.
But it's not 6-star, so it's like I don't know.
After Lulu Incorporated just came out, right? I think Ariel needs some time in the
Some
sun,
love,
right?
some
He needs a little love.
Who would you like to see buffed that you don't own?
That I don't personally own?
Yes.
Maybe a Pontos or a situation similar to
I would
one.
love a Pontos buff.
Yeah, something like that would
very
be really
interesting.
cool.
So he's not Chloe anymore.
Because right now he's Chloe
with a speed lead.
with a speed lead, which is, I mean, is that what maybe that's what we want? No, that's I would love seeing something like that.
Yeah.
That's a challenge to play with your friends. Remember what your friends are picking for that one and see what you want buffed. I won't ask, well, what do you want nerfed?
That's a good
game.
Like, we saw attempted nerfs this year.
Like the Beast Riders, and that's a real success story for them, because they all got a pretty significant nerf on their skills, right? They now maintain those debuffs when they dismount the chair, and the buffs too. They now maintain everything. It all carries over when they get off, but they're still here.
Yeah.
And at the Legend tournament.
People were really mad when they were nerfed, but then again, they're the kind of monsters that they make the impact in the match so early and so fast. that by the point that you've dropped them, they've already done so much, and they can still deal a lot of damage.
They're almost
once they're off the
optional
chair.
at that point. I think that's a really good insight. The first or second turn is where they really establish what they can do for the game.
And that's what changed the meta of RTA. We had sometimes a lot of like slow CC games that still exist, but now we have the option of fast monsters that just come in and kill people. Daphnis, that we saw here, defined the match with that strip and kill, but then he, by a little bit, did not kill the Chung Pung. If he had that attack buff, he would have killed him.
Yeah, it only takes a little bit more, but going back to what you said earlier, I do really like to see how Hathor has kind of just naturally like stepped away from the meta. She's still picked, and you can splash her into a comp to do a little last-minute CC option, but generally speaking, she's a little too slow, and there's a few too many counters for her out there.
Exactly. Now, the Juno is too common. If you pick an exclusively CC comp, people will just bring lots of sustain monsters that can just be alive the whole time. And let's take a look at what happened in this best of 5 that was actually 3 matches.
It was just 3. It was a best of 5 doing its best impression of a 3-match game. Here comes those opening turns from Pinkroyd here, trying to do what he can to just lock down these monsters.
A proc here, that's what he needed to finish
one.
off the Fran. And he couldn't. And the thing was, Ganymede was so big in this match, with a reset on Vanessa, being able to kill the monster fast, ventilating to keep the team alive with the Fran, the sustain, and when he managed to kill the Fran, it was kind of too late, because everyone had bombs already, because he couldn't finish the Ciara early enough, and then it just became 2v1. Like
Look
you
at
said,
that. Look at that. Yeah, it's a 2v1, 2 famously known for being kind of
yes, the Vanessa had no chance here. The Yanni had his cooldowns back, and this is how he locked game 1 with Chiwu Ganny. Game 2, he got the Okeanos and this last pick of Annabelle.
That's the
amazing
Annabelle.
pick.
The Annabelle game. That had to be 100% resistance Annabelle. Oops, all resistance Annabelle.
Yep. And the thing is, I think it was defined not only by the element advantage of the 100% resistant Annabelle, but the Annabelle has the RTA season reward skin, and the Rika doesn't.
That's a sign.
You know the monsters with skins work that.
That's conspiratorial right there. And again,
Just kidding, guys.
Shizzy very nearly punished for that choice, because like there was one key factor, which was that despair stuns don't even meet the requirements to be resisted. They're gonna land if they hit that 25%.
The match looked won for him, but this 1 HP Okeanos and the proc changed everything, because he got the heal from Annabelle. So if that Chiwu had killed the Oki, no Rain of Stones.
No stuns coming back from it. It would have been a completely different game after that. And there's Pinkroyd in the second round there with just a Rika and a Dream.
Maybe 10 more attack on that Chiwu would have killed that Oki.
Yeah,
that stayed at 1 HP. Guys, max your slot 5 rune.
Yeah, that's
because it gives you the HP, so your Oki survives.
1, 3, and 5s, guys. Don't forget those.
Yeah, this was a great pick, and man. The Juno Leo, so hard to deal with them. The Leo countering all these monsters, mitigating their damage, and the Juno constantly stunning, stripping buffs, not letting the team survive. And here, even the Monkey hitting 3k per hit, super strong. The Juno just gains attack bar so much. He saves it. Even this was the first time he played it safe. He saved it to attempt to strip the friend, but he killed the friend. So he had it saved to control the monkey.
Both players were kind of saving it. They were in this loop, this self-fulfilling cycle of like, I'm going to save it because he's going to strip it. Well, I'm going to save my strip because he's going to put it up. And ultimately, Fran bit the dust ahead of time and never got a chance to put it up.
Yeah. And now the Leo took care of the monkey. And then in this 3v1, there's no way you're winning. Even if you proc to kill the Juno, the Leo's going to take care of you. Leozada.
Yeah, Leo with a strong finish there. And Shizzy took it 3-0. Again, not missing a single number from any of his matches.
Extremely dominant performance, reminding us of Philippity that won all his matches.
2-0s, 3-0s across the board.
Across the board. And now the results, the champion of Season 15 Legend Tournament, your new legend, Shizzy.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame for the foreseeable future. Shizzy did an amazing showing today. Again, a tournament newbie. We hadn't seen him here before. We'd only seen him in the noob room before this, seeing what he had to do. This guy did an amazing job, and so did the rest of the players. This was a fantastic tournament, and Shizzy, with his very oppressive playstyle, took that #1 slot.
Yeah, it's incredible to see a player that just comes in, wants to take first turn, wants to take command of the game, and like we said, he sometimes will save a skill knowing that his teams could take a beating, his monsters could survive a little bit, and then finally come back, heal, and win it all.
He was really trusting his monsters. I mean, if you saw that last round with just how much damage Han took before he went down, he contributed significantly to that match. And he had a lot of HP. It took a lot of resources to get rid of that one monster.
And how much attack does that Han have? Because through the attack break, he hit so hard to Ciara.
Yeah, it brought that monster down halfway through the attack break. Imagine what he could have done unhindered. That would have been really cool to see.
Amazing monster that was also recently buffed. You guys remember, everyone was like, I have a Han, I can't do anything with him, and now he's the better Diana.
Yeah.
Because he facilitates himself. He has the death break that Diana doesn't have, and he gains the turn right back. And now, thank you so much for being with us, guys. And this is our last stream of the year, Evan.
That's it.
Finally, 2020. It's over for us.
This has been an amazing stream, guys, and a great Legend tournament. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Evan.
And Seppi.
We'll see y'all next time.
See you next year.